I'm sure part of the reason for setting up the studio was so that you could play, you know, music yourself. But did you, when you were going into it, did you have the idea of having other musicians come in, or?
Not at all. No. I realized that like the last 2 records that I put out, like were recorded in a basement and a bathroom, and just no mixing involved, no nothing, just straight one microphone playing and singing into it. You know what I mean? So I realized like, if I'm gonna do this, I have to, and I can't afford a studio, so I need to figure out how to do it myself. So I started, you know, like probably in like 2011 or 2012. I really started reading about it and getting into it and trying to, you know, learn what compressors and all that stuff all are and like analog gear and like what is it, you know, because it was all so foreign. But
how does it all work?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need all that. You know, I thought like to myself, because I'm a musician first.
Right.
You know, so I was like, I don't need all that shit. I sound good. You know what I mean? That's how I thought. But then you realize what goes into actually making a record, and it just intrigued me, and I just started getting super into it, and then, you know, this is where we're at. Like, you know, I decided when I buy a house, I'm building a studio, you know, and eventually, hopefully, be able to take it to a whole nother level, you know what I mean, and have a whole space. And that's why, like when I charge, you know, now, like once I fully open and hopefully get people in here and stuff, you know, the money is gonna be poured right back into it, you know, because I wanna have somewhere that young musicians, especially, I wanna make it, you know, to where people can come in to a legitimate studio and afford it, and
make it
have
more
somebody
accessible,
and have somebody who, you know, like, I'm all for it, you know, and I always have been, and I wanna help people out, you know. And so I'm willing to work with people, you know, schedules, all that stuff, you know, because people got shit going on.
Right.
I want to create a spot where, you know, come in, let's hang out. You're not going to get charged until we start.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why, like, you know, I want to do the whole, you pay for more hours, you get discounts, you know, stuff, anything, you know what I mean? Work with people. It ain't got to be a 10-hour block.
Right.
But if you pay for 10 hours, if you wanted to come in and do 4 and then do you know 6 later or whatever, then cool. You know, we can work that out. The whole point is, you know, from musician to a studio is, a studio is nothing without musicians, and a musician is essentially almost nothing without a studio, because you have to have an album, you have to have something that people want, and nowadays, like, everything's so overdone and overproduced. Like, I can't even force myself to like give somebody a copy of something that I don't even think sounds good.
Right. And that's,
I mean, because hours are not, like, it shows my responsibility and my, you know, if you come in and record in my studio and you show it to your friend and they're like, well, that sounds like shit, like, that comes back on me.
Right.
So like, whether or not, like, if you can't afford it, like, I'm gonna charge you what I'm charging you. And if it takes me longer, I'm going to spend my own time to make it sound good, because, I mean, what does that show? You know what I mean? I'm Nick Cogan, and here's a song off my album called Good Luck, and the song is called You Better Start Running.
I hear the sound of traffic and blinking lights, and I'm walking slowly to the dead of the night. Well, you want my water, now you're just dry land, and you left me in this town with just a drink in my hand. You better watch out, baby. Look what you done to me. I said, oh, come on, girl, just to wait and see. Hear your voice and the twisting of the knife right inside my back. Ooh, they felt nice. Well, you left me in the room when I needed a hand, and I fell through your fingers like a grain of sand. You better watch out, baby. Look what you done to me. I said, come on, girl, just you wait and see. If I didn't drink and if I didn't smoke, if I couldn't play a guitar or hit a note, you showed up at my door and kissed me on the lips and just started swinging them little southern hips. So well, it's watch out, mama, look what you done to me. I said, come on, girl, just you wait and see. I thought we was good, thought we was falling in love, and judging by the way we would always kiss and hug. Then you took that brick and you dropped it on my head. You said, give me all your money, I don't wanna see you dead. So it's bye-bye, baby, look what you done to me. I said, come on, girl, just you wait and see. Take my money and just up and leave. And go ahead, gal, but it won't come free. I'll show up at your door with a bottle and a gun, and I'll take back my money, you'll have no time to run. So it's bye-bye, baby,